I beg you, put 3 cloves in this place and eliminate your debts in October. Buddhist teachings. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. Buddha. Have you ever thought about how simple actions can unlock profound changes in your life? Imagine having the ability to dissolve your financial worries with a practice so ancient yet so practical that it could transform your relationship with money. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a powerful Buddhist ritual involving just 3 cloves, a practice that could be your key to breaking free from debt and welcoming financial abundance in October. This isn't just any ritual. The 3-clove practice is steeped in rich symbolism, connecting you to the deeper energies of the universe. By placing these cloves in a specific place, you're tapping into a flow of abundance that can dissolve financial blockages and realign your path with prosperity. It's an ancient technique, but its impact can be swift and remarkable, especially in October, a time known in Buddhist tradition for renewal and release. You'll not only learn the step-by-step method, but also the spiritual wisdom behind it. Buddhism teaches that everything is interconnected. Our actions, thoughts, and intentions shape the reality around us. By practicing this with a clear mind and a focused heart, you're not just eliminating debt. You're inviting new opportunities for growth, both financially and spiritually. This could be the shift you've been waiting for, the beginning of a new chapter filled with peace and stability. So, make sure to like this video, subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom, and leave a comment with the affirmation, "I am aligned with abundance and prosperity." Let's create a ripple of positivity and financial freedom together. Number 1. Purpose of the ritual. Since ancient times, people have turned to natural elements like cloves in rituals designed to attract prosperity and good fortune. Across many cultures, these small but potent spices are seen as more than just physical objects. They carry an energy that can transform the vibrations around us, inviting abundance into our lives. This belief is echoed in Buddhist teachings, which emphasize that everything in the universe, including objects like cloves, has an energetic essence capable of influencing our reality. By using cloves with the clear intention of attracting prosperity, we align ourselves with the flow of positive energy and create space for financial opportunities to emerge. In this way, the cloves act as more than a mere object. They become an extension of our intention, a tool to break through the barriers that might be blocking the natural flow of wealth in our lives. Cloves also have a protective function. Just as they help dissolve obstacles to financial flow, they shield us from negative energies that may be holding us back. In Buddhist practice, protection and prosperity go hand in hand, as negative influences can prevent us from experiencing true abundance. By placing cloves in specific areas during a ritual, you create a barrier against these negative forces, ensuring that your path toward financial stability is clear. This process is not about magical thinking, but rather about channeling the natural energy of the cloves with focused intention. As the Buddha said, "All that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become." When we combine this focused, positive intention with the natural properties of cloves, we magnify their power, drawing good energy into our lives like a magnet for new opportunities. What makes cloves especially powerful in this ritual is their ability to enhance personal magnetism. When used with care and dedication, they help increase your ability to attract prosperity, opening up new possibilities that might have previously seemed out of reach. Much like the teachings of Buddhism, where mindfulness and intention are crucial for transformation, this ritual invites us to practice awareness in every step. By being mindful of where we place the cloves and focusing on our goals, we are not merely engaging in a symbolic act, we are actively shaping our reality. This alignment of mind, body, and environment is at the heart of many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism. As Lao Tzu wisely said, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step," reminding us that even the smallest actions, when done with intention, can lead to significant change. Moreover, this ritual is a form of energetic cleansing. Just as we cleanse our homes or bodies, we must also cleanse the space around us to allow the free flow of abundance. In modern life, where stress and anxiety often cloud our ability to see new opportunities, taking the time to perform rituals like this, one can help clear mental and spiritual blockages. The act of placing cloves becomes a symbolic gesture that removes obstacles and invites a fresh start. As we focus on the intention behind this action, we begin to see how small changes in our environment and mindset can lead to greater financial growth and stability. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by financial struggles or blocked from achieving the prosperity we desire. But just as Buddhist teachings remind us that everything is interconnected, so too must we recognize that our energy, thoughts, and actions all contribute to the reality we experience. By performing this clove ritual with attention to detail and a clear intention, we align ourselves with the natural flow of prosperity. As the famous Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Smile, breathe, and go slowly." This is the approach we must take with rituals like this, moving through each step with mindfulness and faith, knowing that we are inviting abundance into our lives. The cloves, in their simplicity, hold a profound power that connects us to the greater universe, amplifying our capacity to attract the wealth, protection, and growth we seek. Therefore, as we prepare to begin the ritual, remember that every step you take is a reflection of your intention. Each clove you place is an opportunity to transform your financial situation and protect yourself from the negative influences that may have been holding you back. With patience, faith, and the understanding that you are part of a larger flow of energy, this practice will open the door to prosperity in ways that may surprise you. Let us now embark on this journey of abundance, one clove at a time, knowing that by doing so, we are setting ourselves on a path toward lasting success. Number 2. Steps for the ritual. Step 1. Choosing your cloves with intention. The journey begins by selecting 3 cloves that will act as energy channels. These are not just random cloves from your kitchen, each one should be carefully chosen. Make sure the cloves you pick are in perfect condition, free from damage or imperfections. This is important because they symbolize the pure, positive energy you wish to attract into your life. As you handle the cloves, take a moment to focus on your intention. Picture yourself free of financial worries, debts gone, and a life of abundance flowing toward you. These cloves will serve as a conduit for that energy, so approach this step with a clear and focused mind. Step 2. Cleansing the cloves of negative energy. Just like our surroundings and personal objects, cloves can also hold on to energy over time. Before using them, it's essential to cleanse them of any negative vibrations they may have absorbed. To do this, place the cloves in a container filled with water and coarse salt, a natural purifier of negative energies. Let them sit for at least an hour, and as they soak, visualize any negative energy being washed away. See the cloves becoming pure and ready to receive new, positive vibrations. Once the hour has passed, carefully dry the cloves, knowing that they are now ready to be charged with your intentions. Step 3. Affirm your intentions. Now that your cloves are cleansed, it's time to consecrate them. This is a vital part of the ritual where you will transfer your intentions to the cloves, imbuing them with the energy needed to manifest your desires. Find a peaceful, quiet space where you can focus without distractions. Elevate the vibration of this space by using candles, incense, or crystals, whatever helps you feel connected to a higher energy. This space will be your sanctuary for the ritual. Sit calmly, hold the cloves in your hands, and close your eyes. Meditate on what you want to achieve. Visualize your debts disappearing and feel the sense of financial freedom washing over you. Imagine prosperity flowing into your life like a river of abundance. As you meditate, keep your thoughts positive and your focus clear. The more detailed your visualization, the stronger the energy you'll transfer to the cloves. Take a few deep breaths, and while holding the cloves, repeat a powerful affirmation either out loud or in your mind. A simple but effective phrase could be, "I am free from debt. Prosperity flows into my life with ease." Repeat this with conviction, sealing your intentions within the cloves. Are you ready to affirm your intentions and welcome prosperity into your life? Comment "Yes" if you're feeling the energy, or comment number 1 if you're ready to begin this powerful ritual. Step 4. Allowing the cloves to rest and absorb positive energy. After you've completed the meditation and affirmations, the next crucial step is to give the cloves time to absorb the positive energy you've summoned. To do this, place the cloves in a dish, bowl, or container and let them rest undisturbed for a full 24 hours. During this time, the cloves will continue to soak in the prosperity and abundance energy you have called upon. It's very important to avoid disrupting the area where the cloves are resting. If possible, place them in a quiet spot, ideally one where you can also light a candle or place a crystal nearby. These additional elements, candlelight and crystals, can help strengthen the positive energy and enhance the consecration process. The cloves need this calm, sacred space to fully charge with the positive vibrations. Throughout these 24 hours, whenever you pass by the area where the cloves are resting, try to reconnect with them. You don't need to do anything elaborate, just take a moment to send them more positive energy. You can do this by silently repeating your affirmations or by simply thinking good thoughts about abundance and prosperity. Each time you do this, you're adding more power to the energy already stored in the cloves. This continuous connection during the resting period helps intensify the energy and ensures that the cloves become a strong symbol of the prosperity you desire. Step 5. Finding the right place for the cloves. After the 24-hour waiting period is over, the cloves will have absorbed all the positive energy necessary for the next part of the ritual, placing them in the most effective spots in your home. The placement of the cloves is a crucial element of this Buddhist practice. In Buddhism, as in many spiritual paths, the energy within a physical space is significant. Where you choose to place the cloves can either amplify the energy of prosperity and abundance or weaken it. To eliminate debts and attract wealth, it's essential to pick locations that harmonize with your intentions. Start by ensuring the space is clean, tidy, and peaceful. Energy flows best in organized and calm environments, while clutter or negativity can block the path of abundance. Some excellent spots to consider include the entrance of your home, the center of the living room, or areas where you spend a lot of time, like your workspace. These areas act as energy hubs and can help magnify the positive vibrations you're trying to invite into your life. In many spiritual traditions, the entrance to a home is seen as a powerful threshold. It represents the space between your personal world and the outside, making it an ideal place to position objects that attract protection, prosperity, and positive energy. By placing the cloves near entryways, you create a channel that invites good fortune and abundance to flow into your home. Additionally, it's important to choose a spot that gets plenty of natural light, as light is a key conductor of positive energy. Be mindful of any potential energy blockages around the area you select. This means there should be no broken items, dirt, or objects charged with negative energy in the space. Negative energy can drain the clove's ability to attract abundance and lessen the benefits of the ritual. Before placing the cloves, take some time to clean and purify the area. You can do this by lighting incense or candles to clear the energy, making the space more receptive to the ritual's power. The cleaner and more refreshed the environment, the stronger the impact of the ritual will be. When placing the cloves, ensure that your thoughts and intentions are in harmony with what you want to achieve. As you place the cloves, take a moment to mentally connect with your desires. Visualize your financial situation improving, your debts dissolving, and new opportunities for prosperity flowing into your life. This mental and spiritual alignment is what truly activates the power of the cloves, transforming your intentions into reality. Step 6. Final tip: completing the energy cycle. After 3 days, it's time to complete the energy cycle. Take the cloves and bring them to a natural place, a garden, some plants, or even potted plants inside your home. Plants are deeply connected to nature's cycle of renewal and are excellent for absorbing the energy you've charged into the cloves. Hold the cloves in your hands one last time and visualize all the positive energy you've cultivated flowing into them. With gratitude in your heart, bury the cloves in the earth, knowing that this energy will continue to grow and bring prosperity into your life. As you bury the cloves, thank the universe for guiding you on this journey toward abundance and financial freedom. Trust that the seeds you've planted, both physically and spiritually, will bloom in beautiful, unexpected ways. Number 3. Reinforcing the ritual. Simply following the steps is not enough. Your spirit must be fully in tune with what you hope to achieve. This is how you enhance the ritual's effects and set yourself on the path to financial freedom. 1. Repeat and reinforce the ritual. One highly effective way to boost the ritual's impact is by repeating it throughout the month. Doing the ritual 3 times in a month creates a steady flow of energy that continuously works in your favor. This repeated effort helps build a stronger and more constant field of abundance, which can draw prosperity into your life on a deeper level. But that's not all. Timing is also a powerful tool. One of the most potent ways to further empower this process is to align your ritual with the moon's phases. Specifically, the full moon is incredibly effective for any intention related to growth, prosperity, or abundance. Spiritually speaking, the full moon holds great power for amplifying energies, making it an ideal time for rituals and manifestations. If you can, try performing the clove ritual on or around the full moon. Doing this will help magnify the energy of attraction and can bring faster results. By working with the heightened energy of the full moon, you can tap into a more potent force, helping to draw prosperity into your life more swiftly and effectively. 2. Be patient and trust the process. Be patient and trust the process. This is a timeless principle found not only in spiritual rituals, but in life itself. In Buddhist teachings, patience is considered one of the 10 perfections, paramitas, a virtue that helps us stay grounded when things seem uncertain. Once you've completed the ritual with cloves, it's essential to remember that the universe often moves in mysterious ways. Sometimes we expect our desires to manifest instantly, but the true power lies in trusting the natural flow of things. As the Buddha once said, a jug fills drop by drop. In the same way, financial opportunities, solutions to long-standing problems, or even small shifts in your financial conditions may appear gradually and unexpectedly. These changes may not always look how you imagined, but they could be the doors opening to new possibilities. Being open to the subtle and sometimes unexpected ways in which the universe works will allow you to recognize opportunities when they come. Staying aligned with the energy of prosperity is crucial. While you may not immediately witness monumental changes, the energy you put into the ritual continues to work behind the scenes. Positivity becomes your greatest ally during this phase. Nurture the seeds of abundance you've planted by maintaining a positive outlook and fostering gratitude for the small wins that appear. It's often said that what you think, you become. Keeping your mind centered on success will reinforce your intentions and keep the energetic momentum flowing. In modern life, this principle can be applied to how we deal with financial pressures. Instead of focusing on what we lack, shifting our energy towards gratitude for what we have and envisioning a future of abundance can help us attract the resources we need. Daily meditation or visualization exercises focused on financial goals will help you stay anchored, clear-headed, and resilient. However, it's important to understand that this ritual is not a magical fix. It's more like setting the foundation, like planting a garden. You tend to the soil, sow the seeds and water them. But it's the universe, the rain, the sun, the seasons, that helps them grow. Your mental and emotional state are like the gardener's hands, constantly shaping and nourishing the process. If you're filled with doubt or negativity, it's like blocking the sunlight from your garden. Conversely, if you stay focused on prosperity, trust in your ability to create abundance, and maintain faith in the process, you're inviting the universe to help your garden flourish. As Lao Tzu wisely put it, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Trusting this, we understand that every action we take, no matter how small, has a ripple effect. Ultimately, aligning your energy with the flow of prosperity is about balancing action with patience. As the universe listens and responds, your role is to stay open-hearted and ready to receive. Whether the shifts come in the form of an unexpected bonus, an old debt being repaid, or even new creative ideas for earning money, remember that your trust and patience are part of what invites these blessings. And as you walk this journey, know that each step you take is a step closer to the abundance you're seeking. Continue practicing trust, and with time, you'll see how everything unfolds in your favor. If this advice resonates with you, share your thoughts or questions. And don't forget to follow this channel for more wisdom and guidance on your path. You're almost there. By staying with us, you're embracing the path to financial freedom through the wisdom of Buddhist teachings. Comment "Clove Power" below to show your dedication to using this simple, powerful practice to eliminate debt. Keep watching. There are more invaluable insights ahead that could be the key to your financial breakthrough. The Buddha's teachings on how to resolve debt. Debt is a common challenge that weighs heavily on many people, especially in today's fast-paced world. It can feel overwhelming, creating stress and anxiety as financial obligations pile up. However, the Buddha's teachings offer timeless wisdom for navigating such difficulties. Rooted in mindfulness, compassion, and understanding, these teachings provide practical guidance for transforming not only our financial habits, but also our relationship with money. By exploring the root causes of debt, such as unchecked desires, living beyond our means, and attachment to material things, we can cultivate a mindset of balance, patience, and inner peace. Through mindful spending, simplicity, and gratitude, we can not only resolve our debts, but also live a life grounded in contentment and financial freedom. Let us now explore how the Buddha's insights can help us break free from the burden of debt, one step at a time. 1. Understanding the root cause of debt. Debt is a burden that weighs heavily on many people, especially men in their middle years, who often face increasing financial responsibilities. Whether it's paying off mortgages, supporting families, or planning for retirement, debt can feel like a constant source of pressure. The Buddha's teachings provide timeless wisdom on how to approach this issue, offering insights that help us better understand and resolve our financial struggles. According to the Buddha, one of the root causes of debt is found in the mind itself, specifically in greed, ignorance, and uncontrolled desires. When we become driven by the need for more material possessions, or when we lack awareness of our financial habits, we set ourselves up for a cycle of overspending. Greed leads us to want things that we may not need, and ignorance prevents us from seeing the long-term consequences of our actions. The more we desire, the more we tend to borrow, pushing ourselves deeper into debt. As the Buddha said, desire is the cause of all suffering, and this truth is particularly evident when it comes to financial hardship. By acknowledging this, we take the first step toward freeing ourselves from the burden of debt. In modern life, we are surrounded by consumer culture, constantly bombarded by advertisements that tell us we need the latest gadgets, bigger homes, and luxury experiences to be happy. This creates a false sense of lack, convincing us that our worth is tied to material success. However, Buddhism teaches that true contentment does not come from external possessions, but from a peaceful mind. To break free from debt, we must first cultivate an awareness of our desires and learn to differentiate between what we truly need and what we want due to societal pressure. As the famous Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Peace is every step," reminding us that financial peace too begins with small, mindful decisions. When we become more mindful of our spending, we are better able to avoid falling into the trap of unnecessary debt. Another key aspect of managing debt is understanding the importance of living within our means. The Buddha encouraged his followers to practice moderation, a principle that can be directly applied to our financial lives. By adopting a more minimalist approach, we focus on what is essential and avoid the temptations of excess. This is not about depriving ourselves, but about making conscious choices that align with our values. In doing so, we prevent the buildup of financial obligations that can overwhelm us later. In today's world, where credit cards and loans are readily available, it is easy to spend money that we do not have, thus accumulating debt without fully realizing the consequences. The wisdom of moderation reminds us to be content with what we have and to spend wisely, so we can live a life of balance and avoid the stress that debt brings. The path to resolving debt also involves taking responsibility for our financial decisions. Buddhism emphasizes the concept of karma, the idea that our actions have consequences. Financial debt is no different. If we borrow money irresponsibly or make impulsive purchases, we must face the results of those actions. However, this also means that by making better choices today, we can improve our situation over time. The key is to approach our financial challenges with patience and determination, Instead of feeling trapped by debt, we can view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. By accepting responsibility for our past decisions, we empower ourselves to make wiser choices moving forward. The Dhammapada, a collection of sayings of the Buddha, teaches us, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." If we shift our mindset from one of scarcity and worry to one of abundance and control, we can begin to see debt not as a permanent obstacle, but as a temporary condition that can be overcome with mindful action. Finally, it's important to remember that resolving debt is not just about cutting expenses or increasing income. It's about changing our relationship with money. The Buddha taught the middle way, a path of balance between extremes. In financial terms, this means neither obsessing over wealth nor neglecting our financial well-being. Instead, we should view money as a tool that can support a meaningful life, rather than as a source of stress or identity. By cultivating gratitude for what we have and practicing generosity when we can, we open ourselves to a healthier and more sustainable financial future. As the Dalai Lama wisely noted, a disciplined mind leads to happiness, and an undisciplined mind leads to suffering. Applying this wisdom to our finances means developing discipline in our spending, saving, and debt repayment strategies, so that we can move towards financial freedom with clarity and peace of mind. In conclusion, the Buddha's teachings offer profound guidance on how to resolve debt by addressing its root causes: greed, ignorance, and uncontrolled desires. By cultivating mindfulness, practicing moderation, taking responsibility for our financial actions, and adopting a balanced approach, we can not only manage debt, but transform our relationship with money in a way that brings peace and stability to our lives. These teachings are as relevant today as they were 2,500 years ago, offering a path to financial well-being that aligns with inner peace and happiness. 2. Focusing on repaying debt. When it comes to resolving debt, the teachings of the Buddha offer timeless wisdom that is both practical and deeply compassionate. If you are facing the challenge of debt, the first thing to remember is that you are not alone. Many people throughout history and in our modern world have struggled with financial burdens. Yet what is most important is how we approach this situation. The Buddha teaches us the importance of mindfulness and careful consideration in all aspects of life, and this applies just as much to our financial choices as it does to our spiritual development. The key is to remain focused and not let the weight of debt overwhelm you emotionally or mentally. Debt can feel like a heavy chain, but it doesn't have to control your life. To begin addressing debt, the Buddha would encourage us to first be honest with ourselves. Honesty is a form of clarity, and it allows us to see the full picture of our situation without denial or fear. This aligns with the Buddha's teachings on right view, part of the Noble Eightfold Path, which is about seeing things as they truly are. What are the debts that you owe? How did they accumulate? Reflecting on these questions without self-judgment, with the calm clarity of mindfulness, is the first step toward freedom. Once you have a clear understanding of the debt, the next step is to create a plan with patience and determination at the core. The Buddha taught that a jug fills drop by drop, meaning that every small, consistent effort you make toward paying off your debt counts. There is no need to rush or to feel pressured by the pace of others. What matters is steady progress. The importance of patience cannot be overstated. Debt, like many challenges in life, takes time to resolve. However, with a clear goal in mind and the right effort, you can overcome it. The Buddha encourages us to prioritize repaying debts before indulging in luxuries. Ask yourself, How often do we spend money on things we don't truly need while allowing our debts to remain unpaid? In a society that encourages consumption, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. The Buddha's teaching reminds us to focus on essentials, to live within our means, and to make financial decisions rooted in wisdom rather than desire. This kind of mindful spending is an act of self-discipline and self-care. Can you start to see how shifting your spending habits might help ease your burden? In practicing this approach, you'll also cultivate inner peace. After all, financial freedom is not just about having money. It's about freeing your mind from the stress and anxiety that come from living beyond your means. The Buddha often spoke of contentment, saying, "Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship." Think about what it means to be content. Is it having more material things, or is it finding peace with what you already have? As you work to pay off your debt, you'll start to experience the mental and emotional freedom that comes from aligning your life with this teaching. Finally, remember that debt is not just a financial issue, but a reflection of our relationship with attachment. In Buddhism, attachment is one of the root causes of suffering, and debt is often tied to our attachment to material desires. By reducing debt, you are also practicing non-attachment, slowly letting go of the need for more things and focusing instead on the simplicity of living within your means. This is where true freedom lies. So, I invite you to reflect on your own financial situation. What can you do today to take one small step toward resolving your debt? How can you apply the Buddha's teachings of patience, mindfulness, and contentment to your financial life? The path to financial freedom is not just about paying off debt. It's about transforming your relationship with money and finding peace along the way. 3. Living simply and realistically. Let's explore how the Buddha's teachings can guide us to resolve debt by focusing on living simply and realistically. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the pressure of acquiring more possessions, more wealth, more status. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us that happiness lies in what we own, yet the Buddha teaches us the opposite. He reminds us that true contentment comes from simplicity, not excess. When we live simply, we minimize our desires and reduce the need to chase after material things that only bring temporary satisfaction. This mindset helps us stay grounded in what truly matters and encourages us to live within our means, avoiding unnecessary debt or financial strain. In Buddhism, the concept of simplicity is tied to the idea of avoiding craving, which is one of the roots of suffering. The more we crave, the more we feel dissatisfied with what we have, leading us to make decisions that are harmful in the long run, like borrowing more than we can repay or spending beyond our income. Living simply is about aligning our lifestyle with our true needs, rather than trying to fulfill the endless wants that the modern world presents. This doesn't mean living in poverty or depriving ourselves of basic comforts, but rather being mindful and intentional with how we use our resources. It's about knowing the difference between what we need to live a fulfilling life and what we've been conditioned to believe we need. There's a well-known Buddhist story that illustrates this perfectly. One day, a wealthy merchant approached the Buddha and complained about his constant worries over his business, his wealth, and his debts. No matter how much he accumulated, the merchant felt restless, always fearing he didn't have enough. The Buddha told him the story of a king who owned a vast empire, yet he too was never satisfied. Despite his riches, the king constantly wanted more and more, leading to unrest in his heart. The Buddha explained that no matter how much we possess, without contentment, we will always feel poor. True wealth comes not from accumulating more, but from being content with what we already have. The merchant realized that his pursuit of more was what was trapping him in anxiety and debt, and he began to practice simplicity, focusing on what truly mattered in his life: peace of mind, relationships, and health. Now, consider this for your own life. What are the things you truly need versus the things you're striving for out of habit or societal pressure? Are you making decisions based on what fulfills you at your core, or are you chasing after things that will only provide a fleeting sense of happiness? The Buddha's teaching encourages us to pause and reflect on these questions. When we simplify our desires, we also simplify our finances. Living realistically means understanding our limits, both in terms of income and what we can reasonably afford without creating future hardship for ourselves. It's about making choices that reflect wisdom, not impulse, and aligning our actions with long-term peace rather than short-term gratification. Simplicity, at its heart, is about freedom. It frees us from the burden of constantly wanting more and, in turn, from the weight of debt. Imagine how much lighter life could feel if we focused on what truly matters, freed from the chains of excessive spending and borrowing. The Buddha encourages us to focus on the richness of our inner life rather than being distracted by the outer trappings of materialism. Through living simply, we cultivate a sense of peace and contentment that no amount of wealth can buy. So, what steps can you take to embrace simplicity and live within your means? Start by reflecting on your daily habits. What purchases or expenses can you reduce without affecting your well-being? How can you shift your mindset from one of scarcity or desire to one of abundance in what you already have? When we live with a clear understanding of what is essential, we naturally avoid the pitfalls of debt. The message here is clear: simplify your life, and you will find not just financial freedom, but emotional and spiritual freedom as well. The lesson from this teaching is that when we let go of the unnecessary and focus on what truly brings peace, we can live with greater clarity, purpose, and financial stability. By practicing mindfulness in our financial decisions and being aware of our true needs, we can avoid the cycle of debt and create a life filled with lasting contentment. What changes can you make today to start living more simply, in line with these timeless teachings? If you've made it this far, you're already taking the first steps toward resolving your debt and finding true financial peace, guided by the Buddha's teachings. Comment below with debt-free path to affirm your commitment to these transformative lessons. Don't leave yet. There's more wisdom ahead that can help you break free from financial burdens. Stay until the end to discover the path to lasting financial freedom. 4. Mindfulness in spending. The Buddha's teachings emphasize mindfulness not only in meditation and our interactions with others, but also in how we manage our material lives. When it comes to financial matters, such as spending, mindfulness plays a crucial role in avoiding debt and fostering a life of balance and peace. In today's world, where consumerism is often promoted as the path to happiness, it's easy to fall into the trap of buying things we don't need, spending money carelessly, and accumulating debt. The Buddha's advice offers us a way out of this cycle, reminding us to be aware and deliberate in our actions, especially when it comes to financial decisions. As the Buddha said, we are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. This applies to our financial habits as well, for our financial state is often a reflection of our inner state. Mindfulness in spending means taking a moment to pause before making purchases and asking ourselves whether the item or service we are about to acquire is truly necessary. This simple act of reflection can prevent unnecessary expenses and the stress that often follows. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha reminds us that it is wise to be moderate in all things, and this moderation extends to how we manage our finances. Consider, for instance, how modern advertising constantly pushes us to acquire more possessions, more status symbols, convincing us that these things will bring happiness. Yet we often find that these material items bring only fleeting satisfaction, while debt brings long-term suffering. In contrast, mindful spending, guided by the principle of sufficiency, helps us prioritize what truly matters: our well-being, the well-being of our families, and our peace of mind. A practical way to apply this wisdom in modern life is by distinguishing between wants and needs. Before making a purchase, take a moment to ask yourself if what you are buying is a true necessity. If it's not essential, consider delaying the purchase or foregoing it altogether. This act of restraint is not about deprivation. Rather, it is about cultivating contentment and recognizing that lasting happiness cannot be found in material things. As the famous Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu wisely said, "He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough." By practicing mindfulness in spending, we align ourselves with this truth, learning to find satisfaction in less and reducing the stress that comes from the constant chase for more. Moreover, mindful spending is not just about avoiding unnecessary purchases. It is also about being aware of the impact of our financial decisions on others. When we spend money mindfully, we support businesses and products that are ethical, sustainable, and beneficial to society. This creates a positive ripple effect where our financial choices contribute to the well-being of others rather than perpetuating harmful industries or unethical practices. In this way, we fulfill the Buddha's teaching to do no harm, even with our money. In our fast-paced world where financial pressures are real and growing, the Buddha's timeless advice on mindfulness and wisdom in spending can be a beacon of guidance. It encourages us to slow down and reflect, to be intentional in our choices, and to seek happiness in what truly matters: our relationships, our health, and our spiritual growth. Financial challenges are common, but by practicing mindfulness in how we spend, we can avoid unnecessary debt and find a sense of contentment that goes beyond material wealth. Remember the words of the Buddha: "Contentment is the greatest wealth." Let this wisdom guide your financial decisions, helping you lead a life of balance, peace, and financial stability. Five, cultivating compassion and wisdom. Cultivating compassion and wisdom is central to the Buddha's teachings, and when applied to the challenge of debt, these principles offer a path to peace and resolution. Debt, whether financial or emotional, often brings with it feelings of stress, anxiety, and guilt. It can weigh heavily on our hearts, making us feel trapped or overwhelmed. The Buddha, however, encourages us to approach this situation not with fear or frustration, but with compassion, both towards ourselves and others. This is a powerful reminder that we are human, prone to mistakes, and deserving of kindness. By fostering self-compassion, we allow ourselves to heal and recover from the emotional burden of debt rather than being consumed by it. As the Buddha said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." In this spirit, we learn to forgive ourselves for past financial missteps and move forward with a clearer, more peaceful mind. But compassion is not just for ourselves, it also extends to others who may be entangled in the consequences of debt. Whether it's our family, business partners, or lenders, we can nurture understanding and forgiveness, realizing that everyone is doing their best with the circumstances they face. Holding grudges or harboring resentment only adds to the weight we carry, blocking our path to a solution. The Buddha's teaching of metta, or loving kindness, reminds us to cultivate goodwill towards all beings, recognizing the shared humanity in our struggles. As the Buddha once said, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. By letting go of blame and embracing kindness, we open up space for reconciliation and productive conversations, which can lead to more harmonious resolutions of our financial issues. In addition to cultivating compassion, the Buddha urges us to develop wisdom from our challenges, including financial hardships. Instead of dwelling on the stress and mistakes of the past, we are encouraged to see debt as a valuable lesson. Wisdom is often born from adversity, and each financial struggle we face offers an opportunity to grow and learn. This process involves introspection and mindfulness, key practices in Buddhist teachings. By reflecting on the choices and habits that led us into debt, we gain insights into how we can avoid repeating the same patterns. The Buddha spoke often of the importance of wisdom, reminding us that it is through understanding the nature of our suffering that we can transcend it. As he said, "Just as a solid rock is not shaken by the storm, even so the wise are not affected by praise or blame." By developing wisdom, we learn to navigate life's challenges, including debt, with resilience and clarity, remaining steadfast in our commitment to making better decisions. For modern men, especially those between the ages of 30 and 65, the pressures of debt can be immense. Many are responsible for supporting families, maintaining careers, and planning for the future, all while managing financial obligations. It is easy to become consumed by the worry of bills, loans, and credit cards, leading to sleepless nights and strained relationships. However, the Buddha's teachings remind us that even in the face of such challenges, there is a path to peace. Compassion and wisdom serve as our guiding lights, showing us that we are not defined by our financial struggles, but by how we respond to them. As we cultivate compassion, we free ourselves from the emotional turmoil of debt, allowing us to approach our financial issues with a calm and steady heart. As we develop wisdom, we learn from our mistakes and create new habits that prevent future debt, transforming our financial struggles into stepping stones on our journey towards stability and well-being. In practice, this means taking concrete steps to balance compassion and wisdom in our daily financial decisions. We can begin by setting realistic goals for repaying debt, breaking down the task into manageable steps instead of letting it overwhelm us. By practicing mindfulness, we stay aware of our spending habits, ensuring that we make conscious choices aligned with our values and long-term financial health. At the same time, we can embrace forgiveness, acknowledging past mistakes without judgment and recognizing that they are part of the learning process. The Buddha's teachings remind us that life is impermanent and no situation, not even debt, lasts forever. With persistence, patience, and a compassionate heart, we can gradually work our way out of debt, carrying the wisdom we've gained into all aspects of our lives. Ultimately, the Buddha's teachings on resolving debt are about transforming our relationship with money and hardship. Rather than allowing financial challenges to define us or cause endless suffering, we can choose to approach them with a mindset of growth and compassion. By doing so, we not only resolve our debts, but also strengthen our inner resilience and wisdom, which are the true treasures in life. As the Buddha so wisely said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." In this way, financial peace begins with the inner work of cultivating compassion and wisdom, allowing us to navigate the complexities of modern life with grace and confidence. 6. Cultivating gratitude and generosity for financial freedom. When it comes to financial well-being, we often focus solely on numbers, how much we owe, how much we earn, and what we need to save. But what if the path to resolving debt and achieving financial freedom is not just about money? What if it's also about transforming your mindset? In Buddhism, two powerful practices, gratitude and generosity, can completely shift the way you approach your financial challenges. These qualities don't just bring inner peace. They open the door to a new perspective, one that moves from scarcity to abundance. And this shift, in turn, helps you approach your debts with greater clarity, calmness, and ultimately, resolution. Let's first talk about gratitude. In Buddhism, gratitude is often considered the root of happiness. Why is that? Because when you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you begin to see the abundance already present in your life. This is a powerful shift. Instead of obsessing over your debts or financial worries, you learn to appreciate the small blessings around you. A roof over your head, the food on your table, the support of friends and family, these are all forms of wealth. By practicing gratitude, you stop defining yourself by what you owe and start recognizing the richness of the present moment. Can you see how this shift in perspective might ease the stress and anxiety that money often brings? Here's a simple practice to cultivate this mindset of gratitude. At the end of each day, spend a few moments reflecting on 3 things you're grateful for. These don't have to be grand things. Maybe it's a kind word someone offered, or the fact that you had a meal you enjoyed. If you can, try to include something related to your financial life, no matter how small. Perhaps you managed to pay a bill on time, or you found a way to cut back on a small expense. By regularly practicing gratitude in this way, you'll notice a subtle yet powerful change in how you relate to money. Over time, gratitude helps you focus on what you have rather than always longing for more. A second way to strengthen your gratitude practice is by keeping a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you are thankful for every day and include your financial blessings as well. The more you do this, the more you'll start to see abundance where before you only saw lack. How might your relationship with money change if you focused on gratitude instead of worry? Now, let's talk about generosity. In Buddhism, generosity, dana, is one of the most valued virtues. And here's something profound. You don't need to have much to give. In fact, giving when you feel like you have little is one of the most liberating acts. Why? Because it breaks the fear of scarcity. The moment you give, you trust that there is enough, that abundance will flow back to you in its own way and time. This is the law of karma in action. When you give freely, without expecting anything in return, you align yourself with the natural flow of abundance in the universe. What could be more freeing than that? But generosity doesn't have to be about giving money. You can give your time, your attention, your kindness. Something as simple as offering a kind word or helping someone with a small task can be an act of generosity. Start with small acts of kindness and notice how giving brings you joy. This joy in itself is a form of wealth. What small act of kindness could you offer today, even if it's something as simple as a smile or a helping hand? When you give, do so mindfully. Intentionally offer your gift with the awareness that you're contributing to the well-being of others. This type of giving strengthens your sense of connection to the world around you. And as you continue to practice generosity, you'll start to feel a shift. Instead of clinging to what you have, fearing there's never enough, you'll begin to trust that abundance flows to those who give freely. Can you imagine how this shift might bring more balance and ease into your financial life? In Buddhism, there's a deep understanding that giving and receiving are interconnected. They're like two sides of the same coin. When you give, you create space for receiving. But the key is not to give with the expectation of getting something back. Instead, give because it fills your heart with joy and peace. As the Buddha once said, "The gift of the truth excels all other gifts." When you give with a generous heart, you open yourself to the natural flow of the universe, and prosperity often comes to you in unexpected ways. How might this principle change the way you approach both your finances and your relationships? So, what happens when we combine these two powerful practices, gratitude and generosity? Together, they help us move away from fear and anxiety about money and step into a mindset of abundance. By giving thanks for what you have and sharing your blessings with others, you create a life grounded in balance and harmony. You begin to realize that true wealth isn't just about money, it's about your state of mind. A peaceful mind is the greatest form of wealth you can cultivate. The Buddha reminds us, contentment is the greatest wealth. When you live in a state of gratitude and generosity, you're rich beyond measure, regardless of how much money you have. In the end, resolving debt and achieving financial stability is not just about cutting back on expenses or finding ways to increase your income. It's about transforming the way you think and feel about money. By practicing gratitude and generosity, you can shift from a mindset of lack to one of abundance. And as you do so, you'll find that not only do you become more at peace with your financial situation, but you also create space for more prosperity, both material and spiritual, to flow into your life. How might your life change if you embraced these practices wholeheartedly? Could they be the key to not just financial freedom, but also to a deeper sense of fulfillment and peace? By watching this far, you've taken an important step in applying the Buddha's wisdom to free yourself from debt. Type "financial peace" in the comments to commit to this life-changing journey. Keep watching. There's more guidance ahead to help you transform your relationship with money and live without financial worry. 7. Cultivating patience and perseverance in resolving debt. Debt, much like many of life's most challenging obstacles, requires both patience and perseverance to overcome. These virtues, central to the Buddha's teachings, are key to developing the resilience needed to face financial burdens head-on. Though the path to resolving debt can feel slow and filled with frustration, by embracing patience, making mindful efforts, and approaching the process with clarity, we can gradually move towards financial freedom, even if the journey is longer than we had hoped. As in all things, there is wisdom in understanding that results come in their own time, and cultivating patience can help us avoid the temptation to rush and stumble. Patience, in the Buddhist tradition, is often considered one of the most essential virtues. It allows us to endure difficult situations without succumbing to feelings of frustration or anxiety. When burdened by debt, it's natural to feel the urge to escape it as quickly as possible. However, the Buddha's teachings remind us that everything, including the resolution of financial difficulties, takes time. The desire to rush through problems can often lead to poor decisions, compounding the very issues we seek to resolve. In this context, the Buddha's saying, "Patience is the highest form of austerity," offers profound guidance. It highlights that patience is not merely waiting, but a spiritual practice that strengthens our inner resilience. In the case of debt, practicing patience involves recognizing that the repayment process will take time, but with each small step, we are moving closer to financial stability. Imagine the farmer who plants seeds. He does not expect a harvest the very next day, but instead nurtures the crops patiently, confident that with care and time they will grow. Similarly, When we approach our debt with patience, we allow ourselves to reduce the burden of stress and anxiety that often accompanies financial difficulties. The pressure to move quickly diminishes as we begin to trust the process, knowing that every consistent effort, however small, will yield progress. Equally important is perseverance, which complements patience by giving us the energy and determination to keep moving forward, even when the road ahead feels daunting. The Buddha emphasized perseverance, or virya, as a crucial factor in overcoming challenges. It is the ability to continue despite obstacles, to press on when progress feels slow. This teaching is especially relevant when managing debt, where the scale of the challenge can feel overwhelming. Perseverance in action means sticking to a plan, even when setbacks occur. Perseverance also requires flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and unexpected expenses or changes in circumstances may arise. Rather than abandoning the repayment plan altogether, the key is to adjust, recalibrate, and continue forward. This flexibility, paired with ongoing effort, ensures that no matter how long the journey, we remain on the path toward financial stability. Through the practice of patience and perseverance, we not only address our financial challenges, but also strengthen our character. As the Buddha often taught, adversity is a means of personal growth. Facing debt provides an opportunity to cultivate responsibility, self-discipline, and non-attachment to material things. These lessons extend far beyond our financial lives, enriching our ability to navigate other areas of life with a calm and balanced mind. For example, the discipline gained from following a budget and steadily paying off debts can improve our ability to manage time, relationships, and other obligations with greater mindfulness. The Buddha's wisdom reminds us that true happiness comes not from material wealth, but from inner peace and understanding. Resolving debt, therefore, becomes not just a financial achievement, but a step toward deeper personal fulfillment. As we engage with these teachings, it's helpful to remember another piece of Buddhist wisdom: little by little, one walks far. This serves as a comforting reminder that progress, though slow, is steady. Each small mindful step, whether it's making a payment, adjusting our spending habits, or learning to be patient with ourselves, brings us closer to not only financial freedom, but also to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. The process of resolving debt, challenging though it may be, teaches us valuable life skills that serve us in other areas, reinforcing the idea that struggles, when met with the right mindset, can transform into opportunities for growth. In our modern, fast-paced world, it can be difficult to embrace patience and perseverance, especially when faced with the stress of financial burdens. We live in a culture that values instant gratification, and the slow nature of resolving debt can feel discouraging. However, the Buddha's teachings remind us that true success is found in the journey, not just the destination. By staying committed to our financial goals with patience and perseverance, we can develop the qualities that will serve us not only in achieving financial freedom, but in every aspect of our lives. So today, ask yourself, how can you practice greater patience and perseverance in your financial life? Trust that your efforts, though they may seem small at times, are leading you towards a better, more balanced future. 8. Meditation for maintaining peace. Let's talk about something that weighs heavily on many people's minds: financial debt. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, stressed, or even ashamed when debts pile up, but it's important to remember that there is a way through. The Buddha's teachings offer a path not only to spiritual enlightenment, but also to practical ways of living, including how to approach the challenges of debt. In Buddhism, One of the most powerful tools we have for dealing with the difficulties of life, including financial struggles, is meditation. Now, when people hear about meditation, they often think it's just sitting quietly, but it goes far deeper than that. Meditation is a practice that helps calm the mind, providing clarity and insight, especially when you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed by problems like debt. When your mind is racing with worry about how to pay your bills or meet financial obligations, meditation can create space for you to pause, breathe, and view your situation from a new perspective. You see, when the mind is calm, solutions to problems naturally become clearer. The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." What does this mean for you and your financial stress? It means that by calming the storm inside your mind, you can start to address the external challenges more effectively. When your mind is cluttered with fear and anxiety, you're not in the best position to think clearly, let alone make smart financial decisions. But by using meditation, you can quiet the noise and allow your natural wisdom to guide you. Imagine sitting in a room filled with clutter. It's hard to find anything, right? But when you clean up and organize the space, everything becomes easier to find and you feel more at ease. The same goes for your mind. Meditation clears away the mental clutter, making it easier to see the path forward. You might ask yourself, how exactly can sitting still help me with my money problems? The answer lies in the power of mindfulness. Meditation helps you cultivate mindfulness, a state of being fully present in the moment. Often, our stress about debt isn't just about the money we owe. It's the thoughts we have about it, the fear of future consequences, and the shame we may feel. But mindfulness teaches us to stay grounded in the present, to focus on what is happening right now, rather than letting our minds spiral into worst-case scenarios. The Buddha's teachings emphasize the importance of the middle way, which is about finding balance in life. When applied to finances, this means avoiding extremes, such as overspending or hoarding out of fear, and instead making mindful, balanced decisions about how we handle our money. It's about doing what you can in the moment, without being overwhelmed by fear of what might happen tomorrow. Ask yourself, how often do you feel paralyzed by worry when thinking about your debts? What if, instead of focusing on the fear, you focused on what you could do right now? Meditation helps you shift your mindset from one of lack to one of abundance. It encourages gratitude for what you have, and this shift in perspective can be incredibly powerful when dealing with financial stress. When you meditate, you're not just calming your mind, you're training yourself to approach challenges with a sense of peace and purpose. This isn't just some abstract idea. Studies have shown that people who meditate regularly are better able to manage stress and make clear-headed decisions. But there's more. Meditation isn't just about sitting in stillness. It's about developing the qualities of patience, perseverance, and wisdom. These are essential traits when it comes to resolving debt. Patience allows you to take a long-term view, understanding that while your financial situation might be difficult now, it won't always be this way. Perseverance gives you the strength to stick to a repayment plan or budget, even when it feels hard. And wisdom, perhaps the most important of all, helps you make better financial choices going forward. The Buddha said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." If you constantly think of yourself as someone who is drowning in debt, it's easy to feel hopeless. But if you shift your mindset to one of empowerment, seeing yourself as someone who is actively working towards financial freedom, that's a much more powerful place to be. Debt can feel like a heavy burden, but it doesn't define who you are. It's simply a situation that you're in, one that can change over time. Meditation can help you separate your self-worth from your financial circumstances, reminding you that you are more than your debts. And in doing so, it frees you to take practical steps towards resolving them. One of the key lessons in Buddhism is impermanence, the idea that everything is constantly changing, including your financial situation. No matter how stuck you may feel, know that change is possible. But to create positive change, you need to approach your challenges from a place of peace and clarity. So, where do you start? You don't need to dedicate hours each day to meditation. Even just 5 or 10 minutes of focused breathing can make a significant difference. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. When your mind starts to wander to thoughts of bills or money problems, gently bring it back to the present moment. Over time, you'll notice that your mind becomes more settled and you'll start to feel less overwhelmed by your financial challenges. And with that calm mind, you can begin to tackle your debt with a clearer head and a more open heart. What would happen if you approached your financial struggles not with fear, but with peace and determination? Could meditation be the key to unlocking a new way of managing your money? These are questions worth exploring, and I encourage you to try incorporating meditation into your daily routine. The Buddha's teachings offer a path to peace, even in the most difficult of times, and by taking this path, you can find the clarity and strength needed to resolve your financial difficulties. Start now, take a breath, and trust that with mindfulness and patience, you can find your way out of debt. Thank you for watching today's video on The Journey of Wisdom. I hope you found the teachings and the Clove ritual insightful for aligning your energy with abundance and releasing financial blockages. Remember, these practices are about more than just eliminating debt. They're about cultivating mindfulness, prosperity, and peace in your life. If this video resonated with you, please support us by liking the video, sharing it with others who may benefit, and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos filled with more Buddhist teachings and wisdom. Until next time, stay mindful, stay abundant, and may you continue to walk the path of wisdom. Thank you.